This is Rob Tebbutt for Boxing Social. Delighted to be joined here today down at Peacock Gym again with Mr. Anthony Yarde again. How you doing, Anthony?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Very well. First and foremost, first time I've seen you since your win over Travis Reeves at Royal Albert Hall. Now you've had a bit of time to reflect on it. What did you make of your performance?
I felt like it was a good performance. I got the job done. Sometimes a lot of fighters are harsh on themselves, or a lot of time some fighters are not harsh enough on themselves. I just feel like I got the job done. I know there's still things I need to be working on. I'm working on them, and I'm just on to the next.
Now, I've interviewed you enough to know you're not somebody who sits in front of the screen for hours and hours and hours and dissects every little piece. But have you watched the fight back at all?
Oh, definitely. I've watched it back. I've watched a full fight back once or maybe twice, and then again just like little clips of things that I'm doing well. Sometimes it's not always good to focus on things you're doing not so well, but I like to focus on the things I'm doing well because then you tend to do them more. That's just me. That's again, everyone's an individual. Everyone does things different. Different things work for different people. So that's what I like to do. And yeah, the other little things that again I could be doing better, I'm working on them in the gym. But I try not to really focus on them. I try not to put a magnifying glass on them too much. I just work on things bit by bit. I feel that progression is like chopping down a tree. Chop it down bit by bit. It's very rare that you get, unless you got some sort of wrecking ball with a blade on it. It's very rare you would just chop straight through it. So it's just about chipping away bit by bit at the things that could be better, and then you seek perfection. You may never get it, but you seek perfection.
What were you doing well, in your humble opinion?
Staying relaxed. Again, if you notice in this fight, I didn't throw that many jabs. I would have thrown more jabs if I needed to. But again, I was working on certain things this fight, and it was coming off. Another thing that I thought I'd done very well was I nullified his attacks with like distance and things like that. So yeah, little things that I was doing, I was working on. So it was coming off. It's good.
Going to be open enough to tell me what you weren't doing well?
I can't say. I got the stoppage victory, so I'm not going to be too harsh on myself and say I was doing that not well, I was doing this not well. Again, I told you I don't really focus on it, so I won't really be able to tell you all the bad things I did wrong. I didn't get hit in the fight. Maybe like a couple of jabs were both jabbing at the same time, which is expected. The most I got was when we come close. He had a tough head. not in terms of how hard his head is. His hair texture was tough, so he gave me a little like carpet burn effect here. But that's the only thing I got from the fight. Yeah, that's it. So
I think you're probably doing all right if the worst you got in a fight was carpet burn from somebody's facial hair. Maybe Tundi will tell me. He probably won't tell me when he turns up. Now, going into that fight, all of the talk was about what was coming next, and you were very diplomatic after the fight. You didn't want to talk about what was coming next, but soon after that, the order came from the WBO for you to challenge for Sergey Kovalev's WBO World Light Heavyweight title. Thoughts?
Again, happiness. People that have eyes, obviously, or people that go and look at comments or little things that you hear. The only reason I know people saying negative things because people will come to me and report. So they're like, "Oh, people are just talking rubbish, man. They don't know what they're talking about." Or some people like they don't want to be rude in my face, but they're like, "Oh, when are you going to fight this person next? Are you going to fight that person?" I think it'll be a good fight. Again, now if you look at the position I'm in now, where I've been mandated to fight for the WBO belt, Kovalev holds the belt. We're taking a fight. We're in negotiations now. So all the what the naysayer people were saying, irrelevance. And this is what I was saying from literally the beginning. If I keep doing my job, all these things that people are saying now are going to be irrelevant. Again, hopefully we can make the fight happen. I'm excited. I want to still go out there and beat Anthony Yarde. I'm going to continue to work in the gym the same way I always work, because that's what's working.
And we'll come on to that in a bit, kind of, I guess, people's comments on various things, really. But one thing that you've told me in the past, quite public knowledge, is you had the opportunity to fight both Sergey Kovalev and Artur Beterbiev last year. You didn't. I know if it was up to you, you would have. But what's different now? Why are you taking the fight now as opposed to when it was offered back then?
I just feel like the reason the fight's being taken now is maybe timing. I don't know. I didn't see much of a difference really. I didn't see much of a difference in time scale. It wasn't that long ago that we got offered the fight. But I feel like when the fight's mandated, it's a different ball game in terms of negotiation, what you can negotiate, etc. Obviously, I feel my numbers are changing in terms of views. So again, that's going to go in my benefit when it goes to negotiation. More people around the world are knowing who I am. More people are talking about me. All that goes hand in hand with negotiations. So I don't feel like there's a dramatic difference. But again, as I said to everyone before, when the fight got said to me before, I was in a sauna. I stood up in the sauna. I was already hot. I started sweating more because I got excited. I was like, "What? So when's the fight happening?" And then Tunda was like to me, "No, we're not going to take the fight yet. It's not on our terms, or it's not the right time yet. A couple more fights or whatever." So literally, since then I've had 2 fights. 2 fights. I knocked out one in the 4th round. I knocked out the other in the 5th round. So look, that's 9 rounds, and that's not completed 9 rounds. So you can say that's like 7 rounds really, 7 4 rounds. Is what it is. The fight should happen now, if negotiations go well, and I can only be excited.
Now, without having your pants pulled down in negotiations, does the fact that it'll be a mandatory split, does that bother you at all? Are you just interested in everyone's got to get paid, I'm not stupid, but are you just interested in fighting for the world title? Now it has been mandated, it would seem that fight has to happen next, right?
Well, everyone has their opinion. You know, some people, they say money don't matter to them. They say loads of things. They say it's only about the championship belt, something like that. A lot of them they're not telling the truth. You know, we all need to support our families. We get ourselves in positions that we in the boxing ring is very, very dangerous. You know, you're going in there, and then again, big risk. You want big rewards. So that's just how it goes. That's the way the world works. Hardly anybody in this world works for free. And knowingly as well, working for free. Some people are working for free unknowingly. Now, right now, I'm working for free for you. But I know I'm working for free, but it's fine. But in realisticness, being realistic, no one really works for free. And especially in a sport like boxing, 100% of boxers, if they wasn't getting no money, they wouldn't box. It's not the kind of sport you go into for fun. Or yeah, you might have fun whilst doing it, but you don't go into boxing and say, this is going to be my career, my life. This is what I'm going to do, like for fun, for free. It's not really realistic. So everyone wants to get paid as well as possible, and that's what negotiations are for.
Willing to travel? I know you've boxed in America before. Kovalev's come over here. Frank probably doesn't have fond memories when he came over and stopped Nathan Cleverly, but are you prepared to travel? If the deal works, are you prepared to go to America, prepared to go to wherever the fight potentially could be?
Listen, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. I believe in destiny. I believe 100%, and I'm a strong believer in God. And obviously, I don't believe that God just gives you things. I don't feel like it works like that. I don't feel like God just says, "Oh, have this because you're a good person," or "Have this because you worked hard." I think that it's like a package. You need to go out there. You need to work hard. You need to be doing what you need to do. You need to be sacrificing. You need to be doing all sorts of things. So when I say I believe in God, I just mean like I believe in the position that He's already put me in. My mind frame, the mind that I have, that gives me the ability to go and push and do the hard work. Block out the negativity. All them kind of things is part of my character, part of my personality. And I feel like after God, character is everything.
So are you willing to travel?
So I tried to do a Floyd Mayweather and not answer the question. We'll see. I'm still not answering the question. I'm trying to be smart about it. But if that's what it comes to, then that's what's going to happen.
If the fight goes to purse bids, yes, then you don't really have a say, right? That's fair to say?
Again, I'm not a manager, I'm not a promoter. That's not my job. So it will be, if it goes to purse bids, I feel like, I think this is how it works. Whichever promoter wins, they get the say-so, right? Again, so I'm confident Frank will probably win that if it goes to purse bids. And Frank has already made it public that he will win it in England.
There's also, I mean, Frank is a massive Arsenal fan. I've seen it all over Tunde's Twitter about potentially fighting at the Emirates. That would be quite nice, no?
Again, that would be historic. I don't think there's ever been a boxing match at Arsenal. I've been an Arsenal fan since birth, since Ian Wright days, when he was running around half naked. Literally, it will be history. It will be one of them iconic moments that's never been done before. And again, with my track record or my background, it would just seem like a miracle, basically. And miracles are possible.
So the fight's been offered to you in the past.
Yes.
You're now mandated for it. Now I know, as I said, that you said to me before, or when the last fight was offered, that you felt like you were ready. You would have taken that fight. How long do you think you've been ready for a world title shot? In your opinion?
In my opinion, I can't really say. The reason why I can't really say is because I've been up and down within my thought process. I want to fight for a world title, man. You know, it's all about like your opportunities and working hard and getting there. And then another time I'll be like, you know what, it's true. Like, I'm still got things I need to be working on. Fighting at the top level, you know, for a certain amount of time, you usually get hit more. I still got a lot of things to work on. I still got a lot of positions to be put in. See how I deal with them and learn from them, etc. But again, at the same time, I'm a strong believer in it is what it is. I had this kind of mentality in the amateurs. In the amateurs, I didn't care who I was fighting next. I didn't know who I was fighting next. I find out on the day most times who I'm fighting and what they're about, etc. But then you still go and fight. So I still got the same kind of mentality. I got that dog mentality. Is whoever's put in front of me, I've got a job to do. I've got to go out there and swing. You need to go out there and you're gonna go out there and fight. And then whatever happens, happens. And again, I'm a very strong believer in myself. I'm confident. I'm working hard in the gym. And it's been a 100% success rate so far.
When did this fight, so this time the fight has been mentioned, when did you first hear of this? Was it before your last fight? Did you kind of know going into your last fight that it could happen if you came through successfully?
I'll be honest with you. I met Tunde, we went to Shake Shack to get a burger and a milkshake. And literally Tunde got a phone call whilst I was with him. I wasn't even meant to meet Tunde. So again, I met him. It was in Shake Shack, ordering a burger, and he went on the phone. And he come on the phone, and he was like, "The fight's gonna happen." And I was like, "What fight?" And he's like, "The Kovalev fight." He goes, "That was I forgot who said it was." And he goes, "WBO have mandated the fight." And he explained to me like how it works or whatever. I had an inkling of how it works or whatever already. And he said to me, "Yeah, this was gonna happen, whatever." He explained to me what he wants, how he wants it to go. And he's like, "Yeah, this is big." He's like, "This is massive." He gave me a hug. He was like, "If I wasn't in public and if I wasn't with you, I'll cry." That's what he said to me. He goes, "If I wasn't with you, I'll cry." The reason why he said if he wasn't with me, because he knows I'll laugh at him. If he starts crying in front of me, he's not going to ever live that down. So, and I would have had my camera ready. But yeah, like, I can see the emotion in his eyes. Again, Tunde, he's in boxing especially, he's been through a lot. He's been through a lot in life. In my short years of living, 27 years, I've been through a lot in life. So for something like this to be happening now, we're already winners, both of us.
That's interesting you say that, because as you mentioned earlier on in the interview, the last time the fight was offered, you were with Tunde, and it was a very different response. So I'll verify or clarify this with Tunde if and when he shows up. Okay, brilliant. But from Tunde's point of view, certainly from what you've seen, so Tunde is now, he's in favour. He believes the fight's going to happen. He wants this fight for you now.
Yeah. Well, that's the vibration I'm getting. I feel that he wants to fight now. Again, I just got a job to do, and again, I'm so focused on my job. What a lot of people tend to do is focus on other people's jobs. I'm focused on my job. Obviously, I'm very observant, and I care about what other people are doing, making sure they're doing their jobs. But again, when everything's going sweet, you know, you don't need to the grass over there may look greener. You might get over there, the sun might just change direction and it's all dark and muddy. So right now, again, as things are going, they're going at a rapid rate. Things are going exceptional. And I'm just focused on my job. My job is to go in there and win the fight. So that's my job. That's what I've got to go and do. That's what I will do. And again, it's one of them fights where, they say it's a fight of your life until the next fight. So literally, you have to prepare yourself for the fight of your life.
Tell me about Sergey Kovalev. Again, you're not somebody who I know sits down and watches loads and loads of stuff, but I know you've watched Kovalev. I know you went out to Atlantic City to watch him lose. Tell me about Sergey Kovalev. How big of a task do you see him being?
Well, Kovalev's a massive task, if you think about it logically, in terms of experience, amateur and professional. The fights he's been in all aspects, if you think about it, his record, he's only lost to, again, Andre Ward, who can be wiped off the list because Andre Ward is probably going to go down as a great. And then he's lost a fight which he was winning, and he got caught and got stopped, which again can happen to anybody. So Kovalev is top of the line when it comes to the light heavyweights. What I've seen of him as well is from when I was coming up, before I even turned professional, I see Kovalev as a light heavyweight, and the way he come through as well. A different promoter, he brought through really a new promoter who believed in him, and he done his job. He was going out there knocking out people. He made his dreams come through, and he done his thing. But again, every era there's somebody that comes up next, and I thought, I don't say timing is everything. I say everything is timing. There's a difference.
What did you make of him when you saw him up close? You're a big light heavyweight. I think that's plain for anybody to see. Size, yeah, there we go. Look at him. I'm big, but very, very different. Very different. What did you make of him when you saw him up close, size-wise? Do you think you're going to have the size advantage when you go in there? Size, strength, power, etc.?
You know what? I feel like I'll have the power advantage, strength advantage. I feel like I have a lot of advantages. I feel like all he has on me is an experience advantage. He's taller than me. That don't matter. We chop down trees. But I did. When you see someone in person, unless you stand face to face with them, you don't know their size, and that's just being realistic. People can appear to be big from far. People can appear to be small from far. It depends who they're around. So again, I didn't see him up close face to face. I saw him walking at a distance. I saw him in the ring. And when you're in the ring, again, you're up high, so you can't really judge how big that person is. But again, the size don't matter. And if from a young age, I've never looked at a man's size. I've looked in their eyes, and when you look in a man's eyes, you know what you're in for. You know what's about to happen. Every opponent I've fought so far, I've looked in their eyes, and I know from the time I've looked in their eyes, I know I've won the fight, and that's just me being realistic. You never know until you get in there. That's what the game's about: experience, surprises, and excitement. So I'm excited about the fight. I'll be excited when the fight happens, and I'll be extra excited when I win the fight.
Now you mentioned experience, and it's interesting that you mentioned that. It's no secret that you've had criticism over your level of opposition. You now fight Sergey Kovalev as a world champion, and people say it's too soon. Does that bother you?
Listen, if you go back and look at my interviews with you, I'm not talking about interviews with anyone else. I've said this. When I go and take a fight, what they're going to do is people always flip a table, and then the legs start standing up. So what they do is that they're on their feet and they say, "Oh, he's doing this. I don't like this about him. He's not fighting this person. He's a what they call me, a cherry picker." When I don't even make my own fights, but they call me a cherry picker. He does this wrong, he does that wrong. I don't like him. Or he's just a good-looking boy. Or how did he do this? How did he do that? Then I said, what's going to happen is I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, keep going through the rankings, and then I'm going to get a big fight. Then what they're going to do is they're going to say, oh, it's too soon. Or, because I only had 12 amateur fights, let's say with my 12th fight, even people were already saying, oh, you look exceptional, step it up. If I fought, let's say even for the European at that stage, people say, it might be too soon for him. Some people are saying, yeah, you're going to knock out Kovalev. Some people are saying, he's such a good talent, you know, he could be the next big thing. You know, he talks well. He's good looking. You know, he's muscular. They're rushing him. They're putting him in a big fight too soon. It's too early. You got different opinions, but again, I'm a boxer. I would have took this fight 4 or 5 fights ago, because I'm just a boxer. Your dreams and your goals and aspirations are to change your life, change your family's life, be put in the history books in the future, win. Again, so, you know, we've got like a shark mentality, and that's like sharks don't stop swimming. A shark cannot stop swimming. If a shark stops swimming, it dies. A shark's only mentality and only way of living is to keep swimming forward. Well, no matter what direction it goes, it has to keep swimming. It's got no option. And literally, it's the same kind of mentality I've got. It's definitely always going to be lions in the camp, because there's no... Is it mammal? It's mammal, isn't it? Yeah. There's no mammal on the planet more dominant than the lion. And I'm a Leo, so it just goes hand in hand. But literally, it's like, you still got that shark mentality in there. So yeah.
One of the things that people point towards, and it's something I told you on the podcast when you came on to the podcast, shameless plug there, please go and watch the podcast, everybody, is that I'd like to see you get hit. And that's not because I don't like you, because I do, but I'm of the opinion that you can never really know about a fighter until they get hit with small gloves, under the lights, and then see what happens. Do you wish that you'd been hit? Silly question, but do you wish you'd been hit so you're going into a world title fight knowing you can hold a shot from a world-class fighter in 10-ounce gloves?
Absolutely. N-O-T. Never. I don't want to get hit. I don't want to get hit. I don't want to get hit for my whole career. That's the game. That's the objective. You heard one of the smartest men in boxing in history was Floyd Mayweather's dad. He said to his son, the less you get hit in this sport, the longer you last. Facts. The less you get hit, the better life you're going to have after boxing. Facts. People don't understand, boxing is a brutal sport. If you go and watch a film called Concussion, yeah, that Will Smith played, he played the Nigerian man, true story. He was a physician, you know when people die, autopsy, physician or whatever. And he noticed that within a lot of NFL players at that time was getting brain damage and, you know, going quote-unquote crazy. Well, they wasn't going crazy. They had cerebral head damage. And there was no thing for it. Like, they didn't diagnose, there was no diagnosis for it. So no one knew what it was. Why were these NFL players going crazy and killing themselves? Why were these NFL players murdering their families? Why would these NFL players be driving and just crash into everybody else? They were doing like crazy things. He started to look at the autopsies of these people and realised they were all having the similar deaths, suicide, and crazy suicides like that, losing their minds. So he kept digging, saying, what's the problem here? And then again, he discovered something and they named it. I forgot what they named it, but again, he went into the NFL. Obviously, NFL is one of the biggest organisations in the world. He challenged them. He got the rules changed because of the impact of the damage of the brain. Was having a massive cause effect on different people. So again, it's a dangerous sport again within boxing. We don't want to get hit. We want to slip, slide, look pretty, don't get hit. Obviously, you may get hit. I'm not gonna say you're gonna get hit, but you may get hit from time to time with a good shot or hard shot. Don't get it twisted now. I'm a fighter. When I'm in the gym and someone hits me, you better know what time it is. But again, the objective is to not get hit. After the spar, you'll be like, okay, I had fun in there, but I shouldn't be getting hit. You know, it's not a good thing to be getting hit. The objective is to not get hit and then inflict as much damage as you can on your opponent.
Yeah, I get that. I think that I was coming from more of the angle where we've seen Floyd, you use Floyd as an example, we've seen Floyd get hit by Shane Mosley, Marcus Maidana, even DeMarcus Corley hit him. So we've seen it. So basically my question was, would it have been beneficial to know that you can hold those shots going into a fight? That's kind of the angle. You make a very good point. I agree with what you're saying, but I was more along the lines of, it'd be nice to know you can hold the shots.
I'll just give it some knowledge, you know, to the viewers. I can hold shots. Just, you know, you might never see it in a boxing ring, but I can hold shots. I've had little scraps on the roads. Been hit without knowing I'm going to be hit. I can hold it. Sparring even. I know it's different ounce gloves, etc. But when I was a bit more inexperienced, I held some licks from bigger guys, clean flush shots. Again, I'm never gonna talk like that, but I'm a solid person. Look at the size of my neck. That's been from the age of 13, 14. Again, I don't really focus on that. It's not about focusing on getting hit, because whatever you focus on tends to happen. And these days, again, more knowledge for the viewers. Whatever you focus on tends to happen. So take that however you want to take it. I only focus on winning, focus on boxing, and that's why you see me winning in good fashion. I focus on defying the odds, making history, and again, slowly but surely, this is what's happening. And again, there's certain people who are actually deep in and looking at the situation that I'm in and saying, this don't make sense. Like, no, I don't think anybody in history. Why aren't you getting the credit you're deserving? Why ain't people like excited about you, or people are excited about me, but they're talking about on a global scale, like a bigger scale. People don't understand like what you're doing. Like, hasn't been done before. Like, why ain't people like excited about it? I'm like, listen, I didn't go to the Olympics. In the Olympics, you get a lot of exposure. You get a lot of backing. I didn't box for England. I went a different route. 'Cause I started boxing late. And again, I'm a big motivation for the people that are, on the roads now, like 15, 16-year-olds, not knowing what they're going to do with their life. I'm a big inspiration for them. I talk to a lot of kids and say, listen, you're not even focusing on what I'm saying. I started boxing when I was 19. I'm 27 now. Look at the position I'm in. You can go and change your life as well. Stop making excuses. And I get passionate with these kids because I know how they think, because I used to think like that. Nah, man, I'm going to do this because this is what I know the outcome on. I'm going to get money quickly. I need money now. I don't need money in 10 years. I need money now. It's a stupid way of thinking. You need money now, but you can end up in prison now. You can end up dead now. And then you can't help your family. You can't help nobody. So some of these young kids, it's a suicide attempt. And the reason I keep bringing up suicide recently, because it's a big issue. In the last, let's say, 2 months, I've been surrounded with like suicide things. A young girl I know, or that I know of, committed suicide recently. Another guy, I'm hearing that there's a guy that was on Love Island recently. They're saying that he committed suicide. There's still investigations going on, but he committed suicide in the woods because he was under a lot of stress and things like that. Other people I know committed suicide. I was being threatened with suicide, things like that. I'm not going to name the person, but I was being threatened and guilt tripped and things like that. So people are like, that's a resolution now. So it's something that needs to be tackled, and people are like finding life too hard. In my opinion, and this is just my opinion. When you live in England, you don't know about hard life. Again, I'm not being judgmental to anybody, because I do understand that depending on your environment, that's your reality. So if you've lived and grown in England, the only struggle you know is the struggle you've been through. So you haven't lived in poverty in another country. You don't know what it's like to feel like that. So a person that lives in poverty, their struggle of not eating and being poor or whatever might be equivalent to a person that lives in England that's struggling at the moment, because that's their reality. That's what they're used to. So again, there's no judgment in that, but I have eyes. A lot of people have eyes. A lot of people have ears. A lot of people can, feel and touch and things like that. So if you can see that there's so much opportunity in England, why are you making excuses? It don't make sense to me. Like, go and get something. Use your opportunity. Use your resources, and go and change your life. Because I guarantee you, if you try, your life can only become better. It can't get any worse.
I think that's well said. I know it's something that you're somebody who, in the past, I know has talked a lot. One of the first times we sat down was at Hackney, at the Hackney Boxing Club. So yeah, you're somebody who does look out for the community. So yeah, that's well said. Back to the fight.
Yes.
How much better is Sergey Kovalev than who you've already faced?
I would say, depending on his track record, 100% better. He's made it to the top of the light heavyweight division. He's been in, again, some of the biggest fights. He fought Andre Ward twice. That's 2 of the biggest fights. He's fought people from all different countries, got a lot of experience. He's knocked out a lot of people. He's travelled. He's very experienced in all aspects. He's travelled to other countries and fought and won. He's fought the best. out there. You know, he come up short against Andre Ward, but he's fought other guys that were, you know, ranked number 2s, ranked number 1s, and he's beaten them. So again, he come through the ranks the hard way. If you think about it, so again, he's he's top of the line. I would say he's 100% better than any opponent I've fought so far. But that don't faze me. That don't faze me. I got a job to go out there and do. We're talking as if the fight's gonna happen. That's how we think. But yeah, you know, when the times are again, everyone's got their time in life where they have a blossom and become a pretty they have a strong root. You can have a grow and be a pretty strong, fantastic what's them trees called that's in the Caribbean? Palm tree. Or you can just stay on the floor and rot, you know, grow back into the ground. You know, there's different types of growth, and it just depends on your outlook of life and what you make of your opportunities.
This your time?
Listen, it's always been my time. It's been my time from the beginning. Again, I'm not one of the people that brag, and I'm not saying that it would never happen. You know, sometimes you need to entertain. You see it happen a lot within the history of boxing. You know, people start off, you know, very placid. And then what happens when they have to start selling tickets, they start doing pay-per-view, they start being entertaining. I'm not saying that I'll go down that route or I'll need to go down that route. But I feel like it's definitely my time.
Just final one on Sergey Kovalev. The fight's been mandated.
Yes.
So the fight gets made. You fight Sergey Kovalev, let's say for argument's sake at the Emirates Stadium, because I know you'll like that. How does that fight go?
Anthony Yarde wins by knockout. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. People look, people are gonna watch this interview. People are gonna be like, yeah, right. Some people are gonna say, oh yeah, he can do it. Anthony Yarde's powerful. But again, when that happens, that's it.
Only way you win the fight by knockout? Can you win by decision?
I can win by points. I can win by knockout. I can win by decimation? No, decimation. Is that a word? I'm going to make up my own word. Decimation. No, decimation. Whatever the word is. When you dissect somebody.
Dissection.
I'm making up my own words. The dictionary is going to get rewritten. But literally, there's so many different ways to win. I can win unanimously. I can win every round, just like Errol Spence done against Michael Garcia. You know, it's boxing. And again, when I do these kind of things, you know, I don't really search or look for credit. I only look and search for credit for people that are around me. Because public perception, you have no control over what other people think. So I'm holding it, but you have no control of other people's opinions, other people's actions. You have no control over it. Only person you have control over, which is again is a hard thing to do, is yourself. Some people don't even have control over themselves, and that's something that again I'm seeking it. Probably you're seeking it. You know, when you're talking to me about smoking, that's self-control.
I haven't had a cigarette 5 weeks yesterday.
Come on. That's what I'm saying, and that's self-control. And when you master self-control, a master of emotion, everyone becomes a better person. Everybody. And again, I've always said this. And again, as I'm learning, going through life, I keep saying it. Your character determines your decisions. And your decisions determine your character. Do you get what I'm saying? So, someone can, you know, rob somebody. They made a decision to do that. So that's their character. They're cowards. You know, they're liars, they're conniving. You know, you've chosen to do something bad. Now, if someone does something bad to you, and your character now says, you know what, I'm striving to do better, I'm growing in life, that's again another form of showing your character. You know, I feel like, and again, I strongly believe this. After God, your character is everything.
Okay, well, just before we go, I had a press conference today in Leeds. Josh Warrington against Kid Galahad on BT. I'm sure. I wasn't there because I'm here. It seemed a bit spicy. I know when you came in to do the podcast, another plug, you were talking about Josh Warrington against Selby and then Warrington against France. I know you were very impressed with Josh Warrington. How do you see that fight going?
Again, right now, you can't bet against Josh Warrington. He's just on form. And sometimes prime example. Obviously, it's different because Josh Warrington is very experienced. But when Josh Warrington fought Lee Selby, no one thought that was going to happen. Nobody. Again, with Frampton, because of his performance against Selby, people said, he can beat Frampton. But no one expected him to have that kind of year. No one expected that. He came through and done it. So that's just boxing for you. Don't know what's going to happen.
Okay. Well, Mr. Anthony Yarde, always a pleasure.
Anyway.
Always scare me when you shout.
Lions in the club.
Thanks very much for speaking to Boxing Social. Look forward to hopefully an announcement soon on the fight. I'll be there, whether it's here in America or outer Mongolia, wherever it is, I'll be there. Thanks very much for speaking to Boxing Social. I look forward to catching up with you soon.
Come on, you know the set. Got to sign out. Boxing Social. BS.
That's not a good abbreviation.
BS, but BS can stand for anything. It's about creating new trends. Not the typical BS slogan. You got to create new trends. BS, Boxing Social. You know how it goes. Anyway, Anthony Yarde.
Okay. Thanks very much for your time. Now going to have a fight with Tunde.
Lions in the club.